them simmer. Pass me the keys to my beamer. Wish I had a booty like Trina. Nigga, get your green up. Stay in the sky like Lena.
You can't put labels on something like a woman. We're ever changing. We can change our looks in 2 seconds.
What's up, y'all? It's your girl Daisha M, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, make sure you hit that subscribe button so that you can get my latest vlogs and videos. So as y'all can see from the title of the video, this is going to be a DIY lash extensions. Yeah, so let's just get straight into it. So what I use is the I Envy C Curl number 3. I like to use these for my base lashes, and then I use the I Envy C Curl clusters in long. So, and I also use hair glue for mine. Use whichever glue works for your eye. Personally, I've just always used hair glue on like my strip lashes or any lashes I glue on myself, just because they work for my eye and it's what's best for me. But use the glue that works for you and stays on your eye. So what I'm gonna do first is just cut these pieces up into maybe about 5 clusters each. Now these lashes have an extremely tiny band. It's almost non-existent, so it's pretty easy to see where you should cut at. I typically cut in the middle, as you can see, of every thick part. So as you can see, it's like a thicker cluster, and then there's like 2 smaller clusters, then a thicker cluster, 2 smaller clusters. So I usually cut in between there because you don't need those smaller clusters, just because that's what we have the clusters for, that we can fill in. So I'm gonna cut these. Now when I cut them, I make sure to cut all the small spikes out, and I also make sure to place them down like in the same order they were already in. Then I just fill a tray up with a little bit of glue. You can fill up a good amount. You don't have to use too much because it's gonna dry up while you do it. So then I get my tweezers, and I typically start on the outer corners, but first I'm gonna use my spoolie to brush my eyelashes up. Okay, so before I begin, I just brush my eyelashes, make sure they're all straight up. Now I have pretty full lashes, so it's usually not hard for me. I take one of the lash corners, then I just dip it into the glue. Now I try to only get it on the inside of the lash strip. Once I do that, I take it and place it under my lash strip and push it down. And there, the first cluster is on. So I'm gonna do about 2 on this side. Then I'll do the other side because I want them to be the same shape and I don't want to do it wrong on accident. I'm just gonna repeat the same step. Take my lash cluster, so I have that one. Let me do the other side. All right, so now as you can see, I have 2 clusters on each side from the lash strips. So now I'm gonna start taking some of the individual clusters So I didn't leave any like space in between those, much space. It looks like I did, but that's just because of the shape of the lash. So let me go in. Now I typically just do it based on how it looks to me. But right now I'm gonna go in. I'm gonna go in the same way with the smaller clusters. Try to only get it on the front, the inside, since you'll be putting it on the bottom of your lash. So I usually just kind of look and see where I want to place it. Now I like my lashes kind of fuller, so I'm gonna put mine like in a small space in between the two I just put on, and press it down. Now you have to be careful. You have to press it, but don't press too hard because you don't want it to get stuck onto the tweezers and come off. So I put one there. Then I'm gonna take another one. Oh, I just scratched myself. I'm gonna take another one and I'm gonna place it beside the cluster. And again, when you're pressing it, it is easy for it to move. Then I'm gonna place another one right next to that one. I'm left-handed, so I always have to flip the tweezers. Okay, do y'all see it starting to fill in? Ignore the white around my wig, I just laid this. But do y'all see it starting to come in? All right, so now we're gonna go in with another big cluster. Now everybody's eyes are different, so just make sure to follow the shape of your eye, you know, as far as placement. My eye is kind of on, has a slant to it. Now sometimes you might want to go in and squeeze it to the line a little bit, but I typically do that once it's dry. Now I only have two clusters left with the full lash strips. So, and I still have about half my eye left to do. But again, I like my lashes to be kind of short to long, so I don't do them that full in the beginning. So I'm gonna go ahead and take some of the small clusters and go next to it. All right, so I did both eyes now. Now this one looked like it's coming in a little bit further, so I'm gonna put one cluster right there so it'll look even to me. So here's how the bottom of my lash line looks so far. Now we only have one large cluster left for each eye. Now the inner corner is always the trickiest one for me because that one has the most potential to like stick or not stick, water up, different things like that. So that one takes a little bit longer to dry. So I'm gonna put the other one on while I give that one a little bit of time to dry off. And then I'm gonna go back in with, fill it in with some more clusters. Okay, so now that I have both inner corners on, I'm just gonna let it dry for a little while. Then I'm gonna go under my lash line and look for any spaces and fill them in with the individual clusters. Now, when I fill in a blank space on one side, I typically try to go to the other side and do the same thing. Again, I want my eyelashes to stay symmetrical for the most part. So most of the changes I make to one eye, I make to the other unless, you know, it just is not necessary. Okay, as y'all can see, I've put about 3 or 4 more individuals on each side. Now again, I like my lashes fuller, so I'm probably gonna put a few more. All right, y'all, so that, here you have it. These are my lash extensions. Again, if you want them more fuller, you just fill them in with more clusters. I think this is good enough for me for now. These typically last for about a week and a half, 2 weeks, depending on how tight and in place they are. But yeah. But that's it, y'all. Thank y'all for tuning in to this video. Again, this was a full lash tutorial for your individual lashes. If you want to save some coins, stop paying your lash tag, do your own. It was only $10, about $10 for the supplies. Make sure when you leave in here to subscribe. I'll give y'all some more DIYs. But thank you for tuning in to this video. Again, it's your girl Daisha M, and thank you for tuning in to my channel.